All right, welcome back, you guys. All right, so today we're gonna do. I was thinking we're probably gonna do a no reset run today. I mean, I might. Who knows? If I get it first try, then we won't have to reset anyways. Um, but yeah, we finished. The route should be good. We went through it yesterday, sorta, and like I made all the notes for stuff. But yeah, I should probably do a no reset run today. I think. I don't know. Surely the route's good. I'm trying to think if there's any. I did go through some of the save files yesterday. Wise, thanks for the 27-month Prime sub, dude. I don't know if I went through all the things that I was supposed to. Maybe I should do. Let me just do an Oceiros really quick if I can find that. Where would that be? Maybe like here somewhere. Yeah, Wu Chang. It's actually tonight for me. I think it's supposed to come out at like 9 or something, but yeah, I mean, I might play it tomorrow. I would like to get this run though. Maybe like here. Yeah, I'll probably play it at some point though. Getting the run today. Yeah, I mean, maybe if I stream for long enough, I probably will. Not sure if it'll be the first or second try, but or more than that, who knows? Okay, here we go. Yeah, this strat, I mean, if I wanted to be safe, I'd just do the cheese. But I don't know, this strat's pretty cool, dude. I also, you know what? I meant to test Great Soul Dregs here.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone?
Because Dark is apparently better. Well, Dark is better here, but Great Soul Dregs just does less damage than Soul Spear, though. So I think it kind of balances out. Competent, thanks for the 2-year Prime sub. Thanks so much, dude. I was supposed to do 3 shots or something. Totally messed up. Well, wait a second. It could have worked out if I had... Oh. Okay, wait. This might be a better way to do it, actually. Was that in buff? What randomizer settings do I usually use for Elden Ring? It really depends on the run, I guess. But I usually prefer the settings where all bosses can be randomized with each other. Like, I kind of feel like that's the most important thing. Because when you only have main bosses replacing other main bosses, I don't feel like it's as interesting. Yeah, 3 hours of Oceiros testing. Okay, 2 shots. I just drink here. Oh, dude, that's so much better, actually. Oh. That's actually so much better. I think. Well, okay, wait a second. I might have to check his poise to make sure it's okay. This is base game boss.
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Libersum, thanks for the 1-year Prime sub. Thanks so much, dude. When is the Ever Dark Sovereign new bosses are coming out? Is it the 29th or something? Anyone know what day that is? I don't remember exactly. Oh, 31st?
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone?
Doesn't make sense. I wonder if they didn't want to release them all or put them all into the game files because people found, like, people data mined them and then made a mod where you can fight them early. Yeah, I'm definitely too slow here.
Ignorance.
Hmm. I wonder if I should try this on controller instead. Because it does take me a second, or just all on keyboard, maybe. Because it does take me a second to swap over.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you gone? Come you now.
Huh. I guess I have a lot of time there after... after the first headshot's done, I have a lot of time. So I could probably drink there instead and then do 2 shots. Because he's going to stagger on the next hit. But I guess I meant to look at his poise to see how close it is to resetting. Poise stat or damage base? It's poise, but we're doing 2 different staggers here. There's the poise break. He's got 120 poise. We're doing the poise break plus a headshot stun. And so that's how we loop it together. We just stun lock him in phase 2.
Dear little Ocelot, where have you now?
The only variable is that he can sometimes idle for a while before going into phase 2. And I'm concerned about his poise resetting during that. That's not what I meant to do, but... I mean, this wouldn't be the end of the world at all. Stuns. That's not what I meant to do, but... I usually, on Elden Ring Randomizer, I usually go 0% bias. I like when it's fully randomized, rather than, you know, kind of smart randomized, you know? But I think both are fun to do. But generally, I do 0% bias. Headshot stun exists for every boss enemy? Definitely not. There are a couple of them. There are quite a few bosses you can headshot. Some of them easier than others. I switched to keyboard here. What the fuck is... See, this is what I mean. Like, sometimes he just does that. This is why I'm hesitant with this strat, dude. That right there. Sometimes he just sits there, and then his poise could reset, and then the whole strat's not going to work. Sigmoto, thanks for the good luck, dude. Quit out so fast. I have a hotkey for quit out. With this tool. Unless you mean, like, actually real quit outs, then
Where have you gone?
I've just done it a lot. Also, I decided that, by the way, that I'm gonna fight Gael straight up. It's honestly so much easier than trying to do that cheese. Okay, now I'm super fucking far away.
Ignorance.
I don't know about this strat, man. And the problem is too, if I use the Bellvine, which probably would have saved that situation right there, then I just don't have enough damage to kill him. And free aiming with controller's not a good idea either, I don't think.
Dear little Ocelot.
What to do?
Come now.
What's risky about the Gale cheese? It's the setup on the Gale cheese is very risky. That's the problem. Because he can just like crossbow, or in phase 2 is honestly when Gale's the most dangerous. Okay, I guess in this case I should probably do 3. Yeah, phase 2 is when he's the most dangerous because he has his Way of White Corona spell, which when you're trying to run away from him in combination with him spamming arrows at you is very bad. So it's honestly just easier for me to fight him normally, especially because with sorcery you get 3 to 4 free hits at the start of phase 2, and so the most dangerous part of the fight, phase 2, goes by pretty fast.
Where have you gone?
Only boss I'm choosing is Sage. Well, I'm choosing Deacons to at least phase 1. And Prince is phase 2. Dragon's Armor I'm kind of cheesing. Wolnir I'm cheesing. there are a few. Okay, also this one, what is happening here? This is not safe right here. This is good. A drink. I don't know, dude. I should probably just do the other strat here. The other strat is so much safer than this. But this one's so cool, though. Just there are all these problems with it.
Maybe I'll give you the
Ruff, thanks for the 16-month resub, dude.
Hey, do you know any
There are all these
plans
problems,
on playing
dude.
Wuchang Fallen Feathers when it releases?
Yeah, I think I'll play it. Looks pretty cool, so I think I'll check it out at least. Unless I can make it work with the Bellvine. That's the only way I could see this being consistent, I guess. Don't get how I like this boss. Well,
Dear little Ocelot.
the design of the boss is, I think, objectively
Are you
bad,
hiding? Come at you now.
but there's something that's fun about him when you're fighting him on a no-hit run. Like, he's just a very sporadic boss that's just fun to fight somehow. I think. I'm not the only one who thinks that, actually, out of no-hit runners. There are a couple. Wait, what happened that time? Why'd he die? Even though I swapped to the Bellvine that time. So, okay, I mean... Okay, that could be better. So, instead, I do... 2 casts with Sage, or 3 casts with the Sage's buff up, including the headshot. And then I just swap after he gets headshot stunned.
Dear little Ocelot,
Surely.
where have you gone?
Cyrus walks so demi-human queens could fall on their face.
Come out.
You know, I never really thought about that. It is kind of similar. Like, it's actually the exact same. Maybe when I first saw the demi-human queen, I thought that, but I kind of forgot. That's a good point, though. Like, actually the exact same. I guess I can drink here in this case, but not always. That's not what I meant, of course. Elvine, save it. See how much faster it is with the Belvine, though? Yeah, it's actually the exact same. But I'm sure on my first playthrough, dude, I'm sure I thought about that as well. Because they throw the staff and yeah, it's basically copy-paste, actually, now that I think about it. What was I drinking? This is, it's called Zevia. It's soda that does not have sugar in it.
Dear little Ocelot,
Not bad.
where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out, you now.
I really like this strat, dude. So I had a slight stamina issue that time. But
Dear little Ocelot, where have you now?
And one concern about this strat too, the reason I have to get so far away is because he has one sprinting attack, basically. Or one pursuing attack where he makes up a lot of ground. Like, he could do it from here, and that's one of the problems with this strat. It's this one. Okay, so in this case, probably shoot here, I guess. Well, okay, it seems like there are 2 possibilities. If he doesn't attack, then I need to... Also, I need to get used to what my lock-on button is, dude, because I swapped it. I don't know if I said that earlier, but I swapped it to, like, mouse button 4, whatever it is. And the reason I did that is because it's default on the lock-on wheel, or the mouse wheel. And I kind of find that awkward, because sometimes I just, like, accidentally switch my consumable or my spell, and I'm clicking down on it. But I need to get used to that for Estus canceling on mouse and keyboard.
Are you hiding from me? Come out. Come out. Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear little Ocelot.
Man, it's good, right? It's such a good strat. I need to do it. I think it's getting better though. I think it's getting better. CFS, thanks for the 30-month resub. Reality Hurts, thanks for the 6-month prime sub as well. Also, Waffle, thanks for the brand new sub. Thanks, dude. I think it's getting better. It's probably better if I just do it all mouse and keyboard instead and not swap. I think that's kind of what's messing me up a little bit. Maybe. I don't know.
Ah, dear little Ocelot. Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out.
Gotta get used to this lock-on button, dude.
Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear.
Supposed to drink there.
Ocelot!
Wait, I guess it's still fine though. If I Estus cancel, it's fine. I think if I don't, then it's scuffed. Ah, okay. So if he transitions after 2 hits, I drink, which should happen most of the time. If not, if I get 3 hits off, then it's kind of simpler, I guess.
Ah, dear little Ocelot.
Yeah, I mean, I've considered Dark Edge, but
Are you hiding from me?
getting Carla's kind of slow is the problem. But I could.
Out. Don't be afraid.
I could do it.
You were born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now, show yourself, Ocelot. My dear little Ocelot. Ocelot!
Man, like, it's such a good strat, dude. This keyboard's easier for us to cancel. So I would say it is easier. Probably. The main reason I'm using it here is for the free aims. It's much easier to aim with mouse and keyboard. Okay, only a couple more times, but I think I will do this. Do I typically bind the gamepad back triggers for? This button or this controller only has 2, but I have B and I don't even know what the other one is because I don't really use the other one. In the past, I've used it for, I don't know. Like I have ReWASD so I can bind it to controller inputs, or sorry, keyboard inputs. And so I'll,
Dear little Ocelot.
make it
Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me?
for, toggle sprinting or
Come out.
splitting my splits or
Don't be
something like that.
afraid.
Especially if I'm
You were
speedrunning.
born a child of dragons. What could you possibly fear? Now,
Yeah, no attack is probably scarier. Yeah.
show yourself, Ocelot.
Because it's a bit harder to know what's going on.
My dear little Ocelot. Ocelot!
Doing a bit of stamina. Yeah, dude. I'm getting this down, I think. Maybe one more time. Pottes, I appreciate that, dude. Let me try with keyboard again. Or with controller, I mean. Definitely what I'm more comfortable with, even though I can play mouse and keyboard.
Dear little Ocelot. Where have you gone? Are you hiding from me? Come out.
Have you guys heard this voice line enough yet?
Don't be afraid. You were born a child of dragons. Now,
Okay, so I swap here.
Ocelot!
See, now that the quicker he transitions, the scarier it is because I'm far away. And I need to get the free aim. I need to get the free aim from farther, which is harder, right? Okay, well, surely that's fine. Or I guess let's start. So we're gonna do a no reset run. Just to start.
Yes, it.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
Yeah, I imagine great soul dregs.
14 months, Pog got a dip. Haven't beaten this game yet. Gotta keep myself away from the spoilers.
Couldn't think of a name. Thanks for the 14-month resub. Thanks so much, dude. But yeah, I totally get that. Gotta finish the game, dude. Yeah, Oceiros is weaker to dark than sorcery by about 20%, I think, or maybe a little bit less. But I haven't tried great soul dregs there, which we could easily get. But the thing is, Crystal Soul Spears, it just has a better multiplier, or it's simply more damage. So on another boss that has similar resists is well, Father Ariandel is weaker to dark than sorcery or than magic, but the Crystal Soul Spear still does more damage to him. Whoops. Okay, I'm not going to continue with a gun to your head, dude. I'm not doing that. Said no reset, and then here I am resetting. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see once we do the sorcery or the miracle and pyro runs, which one actually is the hardest. Because my impression was always that sorcery was the hardest one. I do think the fact that we're going to be not using hidden body on the other runs will make them a bit trickier compared to this one. But then, I don't know, the pyro has a tough DLC is the thing. Pyro's got Demon Princes, which, you know, is definitely not weak to fire. Dark is okay, but, you know, physical dark is the play there. And then you have Medir. You probably use Boulder Heave on. I guess Boulder Heave's good on Frida, though. No, Miracles will... I think Miracles are going to be the easiest because Lightning's the best damage type. And Sunlight Spear is an absolute cannon, dude. So yeah, I think Miracles is probably going to be one of the easier ones. Although I'm not sure what the half-life chat's going to be with Miracles if I'm not using consumables, which I kind of want to stay away from. Even though in the past, you know, consumables have always been fine for every run that you know most runners have done. You know, like Couch Doggy, the kind of original spell no hit runner in this game. And even probably the Souls games overall used consumables generally. But I think I'm gonna, yeah, I'm just not gonna use them on this. Consumable only possible in the S3? It is, but you have to leave consumables at fog gates, and it's really annoying. I've never actually done it myself, though. Yeah, I'm guessing Miracles is going to be the easiest one. If we have a good half-light strat, that is. And the running sections aren't too bad. Running I mean, I ran this game for 5 or 6 years without using Hidden Body anywhere. And it's including, like, I never really used Spook either. So it's not like I don't know what's going on. Well, yeah, I don't know. I was kind of... I wasn't sure what I should do with Midir. If I should take the stagger hit or not. Or just riposte with fists or something. I think I'm not going to, though. I will allow staff bonks, though. And I will allow staff weapon arts. Just because I feel like it makes sense. But I guess I won't punch. Oh, you know what? I kind of meant to test the Wilhelm strat, too. If I'm going to be using the white branch there. But it's fine. We can do that on this run. It'll be... I mean, it's certainly possible that we reach there without getting hit, but who knows? I might just kick him off, I guess. Good old foot sorcery, dude. Do I prefer more linear type games over usual hour setup? Well, it depends what you mean by that, because for casual gameplay, I much prefer open world. Maybe not much prefer, but I do like open world games more. When it comes to doing no hit runs like this, open world games are just worse and not as fun. So, really depends. It depends on what I'm doing. Can't fight NBC invaders. What do you mean by that? Oh, the blindfold mask. Yeah, I mean, I guess it would help. I could fight NPC invaders if I wanted to. Well, I guess the thing with miracles compared to sorcery is that the way to play them, you're almost playing it more like a melee build with miracles, because when you have the two best miracles basically are lightning stake and sunlight spear, and you want to be using those from close range to get the most damage. And so for someone who doesn't know the bosses as well, then miracles probably will be a little, like, could be harder, I guess. Where you're not going to be fighting them as optimally versus sorcery, where you can be ultra far away and just use, Crystal Soul Spear or something. Elfman, thanks so much for the 1,000 bits, dude.
What on earth?
But yeah, so that being said, for Miracle no hit though, I know for a fact, because I've done Pyro, Sorcery, and Miracle any percent. Sorcery is the hardest for any percent for sure. It's not even a question. It's does the optional content and the DLC, where Sorcery is actually pretty good for the most part. Does it? I don't know. Miracles get better as you go through the game. You unlock Sunlight Spear and all that good stuff. Yeah, and then Pyro any percent is the easiest one out of the three. I kind of messed this up a little bit. Usually he doesn't attack there. And I missed that. Whoops. Alright, surely I remember Vort Phase 2. But yeah, what I was saying, Pyro has the easiest any percent, 100%. But Pyromancy in the DLC, though, gets significantly worse. His fire damage isn't as good, and then you're kind of having to use Boulder Heave on stuff, and it's just not as good. So, anyways, it'll be interesting to see for all bosses which one I have the hardest and easiest time with. I guess sorcery on the bosses is probably the hardest overall, but then it can't be understated how good Hidden Body is. And the other thing that's really good about sorcery too is how good it is at killing basic enemies through running sections. It's also the best at that. Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, when I did all achievements no hit, I guess there's no DLC in all achievements though. But at least for the base game optional bosses, I went miracles for the most part. It totally just like it shreds all of them, dude. Oh yeah, I mean, yeah, there's very good dark pyromancy. But dark in the DLC is not that good either. It's all about lightning. Lightning is the king in the Souls games, but especially in Dark Souls 3 DLCs, it's really good. And then it turns out Dark and Fire, not that good. What am I doing? Yeah, there are two bosses in this game where lightning's not good. Nameless King and Dragon Slayer armor. I think that's it. And what's nice is that, at least for Miracle, you have access to... I believe Dory's Gnawing is dark damage plus bleed. So you have that for Nameless King, and then... You also have access to physical damage with Wrath of the Gods and Emit Force. I never used to use Emit Force for Dragon Slayer. I usually just use Wrath of the Gods, and that's perfectly good. So yeah, basically what that means is there's no boss that you hit a roadblock with miracles in this game. For no hit, I mean. Whereas sorcery, you know, there's several. And then pyromancy, there are a couple. But yeah, not a single one for miracles that they don't struggle anywhere. You're new to Elden Ring. Any settings you should be changing? Probably not, that I can think of. Although, I guess I usually like that camera auto turn setting. I like it off, usually. And I generally also play with the... I mean, there's no advantage doing it, but the cinematic effects I usually like to turn off as well. But definitely the camera auto turn I really don't like. And unfortunately, there's not a way to turn it off in the other Souls games without using some mod or something. Whoops, that's not what I meant to do. Not sure how I messed it up. Wow, okay. To resort to some, like, super old strat here. I probably just kill him, too, I guess. Yeah, I probably should try the Night Rain randomizer. I should probably try that. I think once I play the Night Rain randomizer, I would probably never go back to playing the base game. I don't think. Although I'm not sure of the full details of what it changes though. Let's go to Z's. Change jump from F to space. Definitely do not do that. Unless you're also changing the roll button. I already randomized it. It's really not. The only thing that's randomized about Night Rain is the items. The rest of it is not randomized. It's based on seeds, right? There are like 50 seeds per Night Lord. Something like that. 40 or 50. And you just get one of those. It's very unfortunate. That's the last few days I've been talking about it, but that's my main issue with the game, is that it's not even close to random enough. Big Night Rain hater. I'm not a big Night Rain hater, but I am not the biggest fan of the game. I wouldn't say I'm a hater, though. I still think it's fun. What if I should probably rest. If I'm getting grass crest, I should probably rest here. Resting makes it so that the crab doesn't aggro immediately. Black Wyvern, how's it going, dude? Been my favorite class to play in Night Rain. I think the class I've played the most is... I actually don't know. It's probably Duchess, simply because of the level 1 runs I did, but... I prefer the mage classes, actually, which is not normally what I do, but... The reason I like them a lot is because it feels like the runs are more unique that way. Because I like the Raider, and I think he's really good and stuff, but what ends up happening with him is that you have so many weapon types: great axes, great hammers, colossal sword. Well, I guess actually not colossal swords, but colossal weapons, and all of those categories have the same moveset to him. So even though you get different weapons, they all feel the exact same, basically. Unless you get, sometimes you get runs with wild strikes or something like that, but... Okay, I actually can't go here. That's insane, dude. This guy's a legend. But with the mage classes, it feels like the runs are more unique every time. Although, kind of what ends up happening sometimes when Revenant is a class I like a lot. When you're playing Revenant, you just get Beastling, and then you just run that the whole time. Or the sorcery, you get Shattering Crystal or something like that, but... Is it actually bad that all weapons feel the same? Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying. So that's why I kind of prefer to play with the magic-based classes a bit more. Because it doesn't have that as much. You know, and sometimes you're... You know, you find a really cool spell. There's one run with Revenant when at the end of the Deathless run that I was doing, where I ended up getting Classidusax Laser, and that was really sick, dude. Yeah, not that you know, with some of the melee classes, you don't get cool weapons to use, but it just feels more varied with the mage classes, I think. You've never gotten hit running past these guys? What, the two NPCs, you mean? If that's the case, you've probably only played the game like 3 times or something. Like, basically, the no hit runs on these games, everything is so dialed in that everything is done for a reason at this point. Every single little strat is for a reason. And so, yeah, running past those Exile guys is not even close to sane. There's probably a good 50% chance you get hit running past them, or maybe 30, unless you do the ladder skip, which I'm guessing, I don't know. Most people don't even know about it, so. Yeah, I help anytime. Except he's really missing here. Damn. Gotta get those glasses checked, dude. What is FDC skip? YL, how's it going, dude? Magic Ian, dude.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
It's pretty funny. Magic Ian. I gotta start saying that now, dude. There's Guard Ian, and now there's Magic Ian. All damage cancels. Oh, yeah, you could do that, or... Yeah, there are 2 ways to do it. You could either do the quick step roll way, or... There's also a ledge you can land on. The quick step way is definitely easier, though. Or claws, or whatever you have to cancel. Canad Ian. Okay, hopefully I'm remembering everything. But yeah, that's true. Canad isn't really anything. Definitely Magic Ian is pretty good. And Guard Ian is also pretty good. Magic Ian. Lesbian. That's funny. Lesbian. Yeah, the whole group of Ians, dude. Ian's rolling out. Oops, I guess I already grabbed that. Electric Ian. Yeah. What would I rather, cleric son, pyromancer daughter? I'm gonna take the cleric son because have you seen the pyromancer girl in this game, dude? The desert's pyromancer. It's in Dark Souls 2 as well.
Oh,
Body. Great soul arrow.
what?
Kind of cool on this route. We run +3 all the way up until even past Dragon Slayer armor, which we do him pretty early on this run, but still.
Pretty.
Let's sell this.
Well, then take. Let these souls withdraw. Farewell, Ashen One.
I'm from Ottawa, Canada, Apex. Rumor says DS3 getting a rematch. Yeah, I've heard about the rumor, but late this year or early 26. I haven't heard that part. I still don't believe it. I think it's fake, like every other From Software rumor that exists. Or not every single one, but most of them. A good 90% of them. I think we're good to go. Get my haircut by Bar Ian. Oh my god, dude. Bar Ian. Oh, that's scary. Don't like that. You stop dodging. Kind of a slow phase 2 so far. We're still going. I guess that right there is the one problem with trying to do the loop, is that you can sometimes just do random attacks out of it instead of rolling to the side.
Ashen 1.
Back.
Okay, now we buy the rest of these sorceries.
Out.
Apparently we get to 18 attunement, and then
Well,
I remember how much int we're supposed to get. Yeah, 35 seems right.
farewell, Ashen One.
All right, it is STS time. This is the European release of Elden Ring, yeah. You're right, dude. Europe, Ian. Yeah. True.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Dog, thanks for the 3-month tier 2 resub. Thanks so much, dude. Also, Slithers, thanks for the 29-month resub. Seer, thanks for the 2-month Prime sub as well. Dr. QT, thanks for the 10-month resub. Fan, thanks for the 2-year resub as well. Thanks, dude. We're getting a little unlucky here. For people not aware, I did up the drop rate of STS to 20%. I mean, he might be dropping it, but he's just falling. 20% plus our item discoveries at, we have the extra 50 from the coin. So we're at like 162 or something. We're actually above 30%. Maybe one-shotting him is better. Just one-shot him. Okay, he dropped it this time. I think. Oh, but he fell. Oh, dude, he... Oh, my God. What was I doing last time where he wasn't falling? Because he definitely dropped it, but he fell that time. We just need to wait a second. There we go. Guess I don't really have to kill this guy either. Kind of just chilling. Oh my god, the holo gem as well. That's actually... Like, I didn't turn up the rates on the holo gem, so that's just kind of rare. Yeah, rip the Corv Ian, dude. No, but it's not as good. It has to be something that describes what they're doing and then Ian for it to actually be good, I think. So yeah, Magic Ian is perfect. Guard Ian is perfect. Whatever the other runs were. So, some of them were pretty good too, I guess, but... Yeah, everybody's named Ian now. Yeah, Politic Ian. Yeah, Electric Ian is perfect, yeah. Okay, so 9 Great Soul Arrows is correct. Could be one more, which is kind of unfortunate. Please port. Maybe I got a staff bonk him. Okay, hopefully this is good. Beautiful. Yeah, bonks are allowed. Yeah. Bonks are fine. Do you not know the way of bonk sorcery? Yeah, bonk Ian. Official rule in Team Hitless, no staff bonks. There's no way that's real, dude. I'm sure they allow staff bonks in Team Hitless. I'm also pretty sure they allow consumables for sorcery in Team Hitless as well. I could be wrong on that one, though. I'm gonna name this character Magic Ian now for the rest of this. Okay, so we don't need the Paladin's Ashes. I'm still gonna get this bonfire though, just in case. Any Sekiro runs in the future? Maybe eventually, but I have no plans at this point. When I was practicing for the God Run 3, which was a while ago at this point, but yeah, when I was practicing for that, I started doing a no upgrade. What was the run? It was no attack power, Demon Bell, no Kuro Charm, and whatever. I was practicing for a run like that, but I didn't end up finishing it because I got the God Run 3, and I had gotten the practice I wanted from it already. Oh yeah, you know what? This is one of the sections that I meant to test that it didn't. I'm gonna make a save here, and clearly I won't need it, but the Hidden Body doesn't really work super well for this guy. Or it does, but I don't know. Maybe I just need to wait behind the corner. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's it. Really won't run out here. Holy shit, that guy walks pretty far. Here we go. No, I'm not a Europe Ian, dude. I'm a Canad Ian, apparently.
Please.
But yeah, what I wanted to test, and what I'll probably test later, is if I can just one-shot or kill those guys easily with Great Soul Arrow. They are very shifty, though. Yeah, Ian is the new Andy. Yeah, where did Andy even come from, dude? Andy makes no sense. Ian is better. No, I'm not an Italian, dude. No. Okay, so this is another part I'm not really sure exactly how this is going to work, but yeah, these sections without Hidden Body are a little bit different. Especially this section is quite sketchy. Yeah, that's gonna be some of the added fun though of doing the other spell runs, I think. Andy came from Andy Milanakis. And what was the context? Was there any context? Dude. Legendary crouch right there. Yeah, the Ultra Instinct crouch. Any tips for a deathless run? I think the mistake that a lot of people make when they're going for a deathless run is... it's not really a mistake. It depends how long you want to spend doing it. But in my opinion, if you're going to go for a deathless run, you shouldn't... If you want to get in the most efficient way possible, you shouldn't just run just jump into it and start doing runs. Unless that's more fun to you, that's also fine. But you're gonna get it more efficiently if you actually practice the bosses first. You know, I think most people don't do that. Maybe it sounds obvious or something, but you know, they just want to try a Deathless run. They don't really want it to be too serious. But then it ends up taking them a while because they die to bosses or need 10, 12 heals on a single boss or something like that. It definitely goes much better if you learn the bosses well first. Other than that, you can just do whatever you want. Deathless runs are really fun because you can use, you can optimize your damage, but then you can also optimize your defense at the same time, which is something that hitless runs don't ever do. Surely this will be fine. Selgis, how's it going, dude? So yeah, practicing the bosses and learning them well is a good idea. And then you'll probably first try it then. Shorter streams lately. I've just been kind of busy with some other stuff. Yeah, getting ready to drop my guitar solo album. Yeah, exactly, dude. If anything, I was a little bit too late on that cast, but let's see what happens. Probably swap out now. Oh no, it's 1400. Okay, please swap. Oh boy, that was really late actually.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
Nice. I guess I can swap this, right?
I'll give you the best nut
Oh,
ever.
no. Wait. What do I do here, actually? Because I want to kill the guy for the bone shard, but... Oh, shit. Okay, this kind of... this kind of sucks. I don't know if I can...
I'll give you the best nut ever.
Machino hi.
Virus, thanks for the 15-month resub. Dropdown, thanks for the 14-month resub as well. Also, Amon, thanks for the brand new sub. This is a slight problem.
Maybe
Because I'm not sure if I can survive. I guess we can just go the skeleton way. I'd rather not, but I don't really see the other option here. I can't use spook. I haven't gone this way in I don't even know how long. Surely it's fine. That's really annoying. Yeah, normally I drop down there with spook, but I just don't have enough spell slots because we use mist on Wolnir. This chime gives us it's either I think the max virtual dex for cast speed in this game is 50. Maybe it's 60, but basically it gets us to maximum cast speed. Or it's 10 less than maximum cast speed, but we already have over 10 dex, so. Yeah, I think 50, and then 60 is the max in Elden Ring, right? If I'm not mistaken. Elden Ring 70, are you sure? Sounds too high. Is it 70, really? Hmm. Is it really? I thought it was 60, but I don't know. Maybe I thought it was 10 more than this game, but I guess it's 20. Anyways, yeah, that's what the Bellvine does. Gives us, gets us cast speed. Because yeah, I thought the icon gave you 40 virtual dex, and then I thought Azure Staff gave you 50 or something like that. I don't know. I can't remember the numbers, dude. Like, so that's why I thought Azure's got you to max, because it was 50 plus. Most characters had 10 already. And then I thought Radagon's was 10 less, but yeah, I don't know. Not sure. There's 40, Icon's 30. And are you sure 70 is for sure the max, right? Are you guys sure about that? Because that, yeah, those numbers line up with what I thought, well, I guess I thought it was 10 more than that, but damn, it's really 70, huh? That's crazy. That's annoying. That's so high. Or unless it kind of depends how fast it gets to, right? Okay, we definitely want spook on this part, but I don't think I need this anymore. Yeah, I was just going to say that, yeah, it's probably a way to balance how easy it is to get extra stats in that game. Right, even just getting Godric's Great Rune alone is extra cast speed. Most characters start off with, you know, probably average around 10, 9 or 10. Yeah, I think I'll probably try Wu Chang. at some point in time. Okay, so we should only need how many from this area? This is one section where having that camera auto turn not beyond would be so nice, dude. Because it's basically like I have to fight with the camera. Alright, so we've got 3. How many extra did we have last time? Was it... It was around 5. Six-pack, thanks for the 7-month Prime sub, dude. Also, Vilepis, thanks for the 3-month resub. Spook makes you silent, and it also makes you not take fall damage. You can still die from falling if you're at the lethal height, but you can fall the maximum possible height without taking damage. If I'm not mistaken, I can Homeward Bone after picking up this one. Not kill ODK now because we're just gonna leave him later. It's not really that much faster to kill him now, and when we fight him later, we just instantly kill him. So how many did we just pick up? It was 3, right? I think that's correct. Alright, well, anyways. Shouldn't need any Homeward Bones. Imagine you missed time a roll. Yeah, I mean, that could definitely happen. I'm sure I've gotten hit in Smoldering Lake before from the big ballista. Happened numerous times. I believe it's 3. And then the remaining 6 we just get... We get 2 more in Central Irithyll. We get at least 4 more in the dungeon. So that's enough. Just like that. Guess I should probably pick up that Homeward Bone as well. Am I chilling right now? What do you mean by that? On the run? Not quite. Quite a lot of stuff left. Yeah, DS3 is definitely worth getting. Really fun. So yeah, what I should be able to do in the lake then is, as soon as I pick up that last one, I should just be able to homeward bone immediately. And the ballista shouldn't be able to hit me in time, I believe. Unless I wanted to go a little bit out of my way and get even more in these areas, then I wouldn't even have to pick up any extra. Well, it doesn't really work with villain. Oh, shit. So I'll get this now. That's why I forgot Magic Clutch last time, because it's kind of a little awkward. Yeah, so this whole section, this whole split is just kind of a long kind of preparation section for Dancer. And we get the Bellowing Dragon Crest, Magic Clutch Ring, all the way to get the Court Sorcerer Staff. Go through a lot of sections here. That mist like Night Maiden's Mist? It's very similar, yeah. The actual way you cast it is a bit different. It's basically the same idea. The Nightmare Rando Seat get uploaded? It will eventually, yeah. Will eventually, but it's probably going to take a lot of time. Well, Hunter's kind of refusing to do it, but you know, he said that if I do the rough cut, then he'll do it. We'll get it done eventually somehow. We'll figure it out. No, he wasn't trolling. He definitely doesn't want to do it. It's kind of funny, but no, it'll definitely turn into a video. Yeah, we could maybe set that up cycle, dude. That could work out. Probably slower to homeward bone here, but I don't know, maybe safer. Darkness through Rando, damageless fist only when? Right after you do it first, and then I'll do it. Will I complete this challenge or will I stop like some people? Do you mean the sorcery no hit run that I'm doing at the moment or what? But yeah, I think I'll finish it. But I don't know. There have been a couple runs that I haven't finished before. Oh, shit, I forgot to equip Pestilent Mist. Kind of need... yeah, some people, yeah. I guess I don't need Spook. I don't die from this fall, right? This shouldn't be too big. Wu-Tang game. Yeah, I'm gonna try it out too. What incant is good for Godfrey? Lightning Spear is decent. Frozen Lightning Spear is also decent. I like basically want lightning on him, or you could just go Catch Flame, or you have a lot of options for him. Catch Flame is probably the best, and even though it's not lightning damage, he's not particularly weak to fire or something, but it just the DPS of Catch Flame is so high.
Hello.
You also have those jump attacks, which is nice too. Buzz, thanks for the 20-month Prime sub, dude. Welcome back. Oh, yeah, I mean, if you have Knight's Lightning Spear by that point, which you could, then yeah, you could definitely use that. Somehow have it by then. How do you raise the damage, though? I mean, you want to be using the buffs. So that's another reason why Catch Flame is so good, is because you're not locked in using Howl to get that body buff that adds a lot of damage. So when you're using Catch Flame, you can just use Flame Grant Me Strength, and that'll give you 20% more damage on your fire. Oh. So yeah, if you're doing an incant run, your damage should be very good. You should be using Golden Vow, Incantation, Flame Grant Me Strength if you're using fire or physical damage. If you want to go with more Glass Cannon, you could use Howl of Shibariri as well to get even more damage for longer duration of Flame Grant Me Strength, and it's all damage type, so it works on lightning as well. And so, yeah, that's probably what you want. And then, of course, your physics should be... You should change your elemental physic type depending on the damage type, so lightning or fire, mostly. And then the other physics slot could basically be whatever you want, but if you're not capped on faith, then you should go with the faith tier or... You know, whatever else makes sense for the situation. No, I don't know if Frozen Lightning jumps his stomps. I don't think it gets you high enough, but I'm not actually certain of that. I haven't tried. I actually don't have getting the Dark Clutch ring in the notes. Okay, so now
I'll give you the best nut
Well,
ever.
very the heck.
we are going to get 24 attunement. And then the rest goes into int. Apparently.
Farewell,
We don't need to upgrade yet. I think in the past, oh no, I guess we use Flash Sword on Dancer also. Socken, thanks for the 18-month resub. Oh, I didn't even read it, Buzz. You are Custody Ian or you Library Ian. Perfect. All right, let's go do Dancer. How's the weather in Lubbock today? It's really hot and dry. Clear skies. We should have everything we need. Why does my game look so good? I'm playing in 4K and max settings, I guess. Probably why. No, I've never been to Texas before. I've only been to the US a couple times. And none recently. I think I got that canceled. Yeah, I've been to California in a few spots, and I've been to New York.
Maybe I'll give you the best.
And
nut
I
ever.
think that's it. No matter what game you play, Karen Slicer's always goated. Yeah, well, it's kind of not, but it's exactly how strong it should be in this game, in my opinion. In Elden Ring, they made it way too good. In this game, I think it's in the right spot, where it's a useful tool for a sorcerer, but it's not even close to the best damage or DPS you can get. Well, okay, maybe not even close isn't right, but I think it's the correct amount of powerful in this. So I'm just going to kill these first two guys. Yeah, I can't say I would really ever want to go back to those places. Not that they weren't nice or something, but I just don't. I just don't really like traveling in the first place, dude. Why does this guy move up here? Not really sure why that's happening. I would basically definitively not travel to Japan if FromSoft invited me. I just, like I said, I don't really like traveling. And yeah, I just wouldn't. Unless, I don't know. There definitely could be a situation where I would, I guess, but if the only incentive was, it's like, oh, you can play Sekiro 2 early, I don't care, dude. I'm not going to do that. It's not worth it. If I'm getting paid like a shit ton of money to go or something, then sure. But there's no way that would ever happen anyways. Well, I guess it probably wouldn't have to be a shit ton of money, but, you know, just a decent amount. Although if they invite, like, let's say they invited me to test Elden Ring 2, right? And they would take they would actually take feedback, then I would go. In that case. Because I think I would love to tell them that to not put fire breath deflection in the game and stuff. And, you know, testing out some of the bosses and see if I could make them better. Or give some, I don't know, just give some good feedback, maybe. In that case, I would. But I don't think I don't think they invite content creators with the idea that they get feedback on their game. First of all, they don't really need much feedback, but it's more just a marketing thing, I assume. It's funny, whenever I say stuff like that, people think I'm gonna go there and try to make the bosses just insanely hard or something. Like, oh, don't let him give any feedback on bosses. He's gonna make Millennia 2.0 or something. Which is just totally not even close to true. I don't know why. I should have, for the first part of this fight, I'm supposed to just use normal magic to speed it up. I kind of forgot, though. This would be an excellent way to kill Dragon Slayer armor on your first playthrough, I would say. God, I don't know if people struggle with him too much. I don't really remember my first playthrough on him that well, but it's slow, but no phase 2 means you don't have to worry about any of those butterfly attacks. You're basically just running away constantly with this too. You don't really have to know the moves that well. Yeah, he is fairly straightforward though. And I guess on normal playthroughs, the butterfly attacks don't really pose that much of a threat. More for no hit that they're a problem. I did that in a very slow way. Like phase 1, I should have been attacking him with the sword and Great Soul Arrow to start. And then I could have stopped casting Mist sooner than that, but I was just kind of locked into the fight, I guess. I was just chilling, dude. Okay. Grab this. So now we need to go get the rest of the chunks. What are things, Kiro? Are there things that I would add or change? Not really, honestly. Like, Sekiro is a really well-executed game, in my opinion. My biggest complaint about the game, it's a pretty small one, but it's the movement in the game, I feel like is... This is probably an unpopular opinion, but I feel like the movement in the game is bad. And so that's what I would change about it, probably. And what I mean by that is... There's some souls up here, right? I thought. Mind gem? Maybe not. But... Is this an ember or soul? Ember. What I mean by that is... So what they changed in Sekiro compared to Souls is instead of... When you're trying to sprint... Instead of... You know, holding B where there's a few seconds where you have a startup to your sprint... Like right here, if you watch my controller, it takes me a little bit of time to start up the sprint. Instead of doing that, they made it so that you do an immediate dash when you press down B. And then you start sprinting after. And it honestly feels horrible, in my opinion. And like, I think they did it so that, maybe it's a faster paced game. So if you're trying to dodge stuff, having dodge be on B down instead of B up makes it so that you can react slightly faster. So maybe that's what they were thinking. But it feels terrible because, sometimes I want to sprint just a little bit and I end up doing a dash and then it kind of, messes up if I'm trying to jump across something. The other part of the movement that I dislike as well is the ledge, what would you call it? Like the ledge grabbing where it prevents you from sprinting off ledges for a second or two. I don't really like that either. And it feels really bad. If I'm trying to, like, jump across stuff, then I'm getting caught up on all the roofs, and it just doesn't feel right. So those are probably the only two changes I'd make to the game, basically. The rest of the game is really fun, I think. Very well executed, like I said. You'd opt to have more weapon movesets. Yeah, I think that would be cool for some replayability in the game if they had different weapons and stuff, but... Okay, so we have 2 extra large shards here. Which actually means in Smoldering Lake, I don't have to pick up any, is what that means. which is great, actually. Well, I need to pick up the one that's before the bonfire. And that's it. So where's that section? Yeah, in my opinion, though, Heroes, maybe they're the best executed game that I've played from FromSoft. Just in terms of things being wrong with it. It's so good all around. But I think it was, it's easier, in my opinion, to make a game like that than to make a game like Elden Ring, right? Because Elden Ring's so much grander. It's so much more ambitious, I guess, right? It's big, and there's a lot of balancing you have to do when you have hundreds of weapons and hundreds of spells and all this stuff. But having all that stuff makes it more fun to play as well, in my opinion. So yeah, just because I think it's the best executed doesn't mean I think it's the best game they've made necessarily. Although you could easily argue it is. But.
What?
Okay, there's +9.
Pretty.
We're supposed to hit 60 intelligence now.
Well, where the heck?
And then the rest can probably just go attunement. But I'll just hang on to it for now.
Farewell, Ashen One. May the
Elfman, thanks so much for the 100 bits, dude. Finally said something nice about Elden Ring. No, I mean, I do criticize these games probably more than I compliment them, but that's only because it's more interesting when I'm a streamer, right? It's more interesting to talk about things that I would change about the games than things that are already good. I've explained that before, but obviously overall I like the games a lot. So okay, what do I want here? Mist, and I guess we could stick with Flash Sword or Great Heavy Soul Arrow, maybe. I think I was talking about using that for the clone last time. All right. Well, no, not unless sponsored. When Night Rain came out, it was a new game, so I was taking it all in. I definitely spoke very highly of Night Rain, or I focused on the good and the bad things in the game. But I've been playing. I've 5,000 hours in Elden Ring, dude. It's not quite the same. I'm not experiencing it for the first time, and the first time I played Elden Ring, I noticed and I pointed out all the really good things about it. But yeah, once you play a game for 5,000 hours, dude, you can only I don't know. You can only make conversation about things that are good so many times, I guess. Whereas with things that you can improve, first of all, they're more of a recurring problem with the no hit runs I do in the games, but ooh, that was almost really bad. But it's also, there are limitless possibilities to affect or to address the issues, right? So it's more interesting to talk about. And then I guess another instance where I point out the really good things about a game like Elden Ring is when I'm comparing it to other stuff. Right? So one thing that, just an example, coming back to this game, the spell variety in this game compared to Elden Ring is just so small. It is so tiny, dude. Which is one thing that's so good about Elden Ring, I think. Just the insane amount of variety. Quite so replayable, at least part of the reason, in my opinion. Even though I guess some people disagree, but... This one. So yeah, I'm gonna attempt to use Great Heavy Soul Arrow and free aim the clone, I think. Oops. In this case, I shouldn't have to free aim. Dude, like, how does that not hit him? And of course, the lock-on range for the clone is just so bad for some reason. Like, dude, this boss is something else, dude. This boss in phase 2 is just something else. Well, yeah, I mean, if I take out the clone, it makes things a bit safer. But, yeah, I mean, our damage is really good, so I guess I probably don't really need to. But, I mean, he should have gotten hit there when I cast it. There's no way, dude. It must have been just a tiny, tiny bit too early, I guess. Or I don't know. Biggest flaw in Elden Ring is the repetition of bosses. Yeah, I mean, it's ideally it wouldn't have that. But in my opinion, it's not actually that big of a deal. I'm not sure what the biggest problem with Elden Ring is. It could just simply be that there are too many bosses, and because of that, they just didn't get to make as high quality of bosses, right? And so then you end up with stuff like Borealis and Fire Giant and stuff like that. That's probably my biggest issue with the game, I guess. Pontiff bottom tier in your book? Yeah, that's an unpopular opinion, but I kind of agree. I do not like Pontiff. I really like phase 1, but the phase 2 of the fight just totally ruins it, basically. Well, it doesn't totally ruin it, but it doesn't add anything to the fight at all. Phase 2. It's unfortunate. I think they fixed it with DLC. DLC has other problems. I think there are absolutely still bad boss in the DLC, though. There's undoubtedly some atrocious bosses in the DLC. I mean, think about it. They put... How many NPC bosses are in the DLC, dude? Like 11? Or something like that? I think that's another... sort of a symptom of having things too big. And maybe just instead of putting copy-paste bosses, which they saw people complain about, they're like, oh, let's just put Dancer of Rana and Solitary Knight and Red Bear and all of these NPC bosses, dude. Which I guess I don't mind once in a while having an NPC boss or something like that, but when it just constantly, it's brutal, dude. And they're not fun to fight in Souls games. In my opinion, the best way to implement NPC fights, first of all, the purpose of why they should have NPC fights in the games, I do think they should be. is there are quite a few things that they make in these games that are kind of exclusively good for PvP. And so it's fun to test out those items on NPCs, right? I think the ideal way to do it would be to not make them bosses, but just simply make them random invasions, which they do. But they should have done that more. And they just probably shouldn't have them as bosses at all, I think. Yeah, even beyond the NPCs, though, there's still some pretty subpar fights in the DLC, especially the hippo. And... But yeah, I would agree there probably aren't as many bad ones. Like, hippos is pretty bad, I think. I mean, I guess Jory is terrible. Not sure if I can think of too many more, though, that aren't just NPCs. Uh-oh. Am I too slow here? Be fine. Really bad. Wow. Really tried to troll at the end, dude. Because I couldn't do that last shot because the pillar was just totally blocking it. So.
Well, then take.
Yeah, that was not ideal.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Oh, yeah, the Cerulean Coast Ghost Flame is bad. I mean, honestly, yeah, the Cerulean Coast Ghost Flame is bad. The Ancient Dragon that has the other Ancient Dragon fighting him is really terrible as well. Yeah. I mean, the only good Ghost Flame Dragon is the first one, because even the other one has a ton of enemies around it that just are a huge nuisance to deal with. I like Dark Souls 1, yeah. Okay, Spook. Get this going. Yeah, Metter's not a great boss, but I wouldn't put it into the category of like absolute shit bosses, though. My first impression was that, but I mean, it is pretty bad. The fact that it's just there's some attack in phase 2 that is basically undodgeable unless you play the boss in a really unfun way, and then combine that with summoning of other enemies during the fight. Now, luckily, they're only the small hands, and they're not really that big of a deal, but still. Well, my shit boss category would be Bed of Chaos and Greatwood, and Jory, and bosses like that just shouldn't even exist, probably. I could probably do a great soul arrow as that final headshot there. Oh, I actually just wasted my arm stun. Let's see. Damn. Combo, dude. Whether boss is hard to no-hit should have no bearing to its quality. You are partially right, I think. Like, a boss shouldn't be good or bad because you can no-hit or not, but the thing with that is the good bosses are ones that have fair movesets. This is my opinion, obviously, but good bosses are ones that have fair movesets and have a way to deal with all of the attacks in like a reasonable way. So, like, that's partially true, but it's not entirely true. Like, my preference is bosses that don't force you into, you know, like tanking damage in the Souls games. I think that's part of what makes the Souls bosses so good for the most part. So yeah, you're sort of right, but at the same time, I kind of half agree. And I guess try to name a boss that is like a fun boss on a no-hit run that isn't also simultaneously just a really good boss. I wouldn't be able to name a single one that I can think of. Yeah, well, Oceiros, yeah, I mean, I guess, but to be fair, people, I think me and V-Sweat are just weirdos for liking him, sort of. Like, I think he's objectively not a good boss, but... Yeah, Millennia, I guess, yeah. But that's sort of like... I don't know. I feel like that's sort of the opposite direction, though, of what I'm saying. Because I'm saying there aren't many good Souls bosses that force you to tank hits. Right? You know, think about the attacks that are the problems. Elden Stars, Fire Giant, Fire Breath. Those are shit attacks on bosses that casual players and no-hit runners agree are just absolute garbage. Right? Yeah, Moog's a little bit different, I guess. But yeah, Moog could be an exception, I guess. Where the attack is not really... Like, it's more of a scripted attack than something like Elden Stars. So... But yeah, true. But so yeah, all that being said, kind of my point is that they, like, I don't think necessarily they should design bosses for no-hit runs, which some people have claimed that I say that. I definitely don't. But that being said, well-designed bosses should have attacks that are, you know, reasonably avoidable in numerous ways, I guess, right? And so it just so happens that the good bosses should also be good for no-hit, I think. It just, like, that's just how it works, no? Golden Hippo's a great boss, right? Yeah. Yeah, Golden Hippo's terrible. And yeah, I guess the simple reason for that is players, whether they're doing no-hit runs or they're on their first playthrough, it doesn't feel good to get hit by bullshit attacks. And for no-hit, it doesn't feel good to try to, you know, work around them for the most part. Like, the Elden Stars dodge is terrible, dude. It's really bad. And when people are on their first playthrough and they're dealing with Elden Stars, like, what is this absolute bullshit, dude? You know? So yeah, that's where my opinion of that comes from. And yeah, people kind of misconstrue it and think that I think that FromSoft should design bosses and design the whole game. I've seen people say that specifically around no-hit runs, which is, I've never said that. It's definitely not what I think, but... Yeah. That's what I think, though. Is that good bosses just end up being fun to fight on no hit because they're well designed. Like, simply. But yeah, there's nothing, I guess there's nothing inherently wrong with making a boss that you're forced to tank hits on. But they just, you know, for whatever reason, they just never end up being as fun, I don't think. And I do think that's a big part of what makes the Souls game so much fun, is that, you know, there are bosses where you can outbuild bosses and just have a really, you know, tanky build or high DPS build or something. You can ignore a lot of what they do. But yeah, either tanking or just dealing damage, or you can be really good at the game and then just beat the fight at level 1 with no upgrades, right? You have multiple options. And games aren't as fun with boss fights when you don't have those options, I think.
Well, that
Maybe I'll get some endurance here. I'm supposed to get to 33 attunement at some point. Endurance would be nice, though. I'm sure it doesn't matter. Unless I wasn't supposed to spend this on something else. Okay, so we go Soul Mass, Soul Spear, and Soul Arrow. Isn't Wukong like that? Like what? Where you have to like tank damage or something? Not that I can think of, but yeah, frame traps. Go watch my first fight against Consort, and like, because yeah, frame traps are just not fun, no matter what. Like, wow, I have no way to deal with this attack, and it's just total bullshit unless I block, right? And it's just that's another instance. Think about how many people were saying how bullshit it was that Consort had a frame trap attack, and it was so many people that they changed it, right? They conceded that it was bullshit. But yeah, you know, you could try to argue that it's fine because you can just block it, so there are ways to deal with it, but I don't know, people just overall consensus is that those types of attacks are just no fun. They're not fair. And yeah, so that's kind of the reason why good bosses are also just good on no hit as well, right? Frame trap by your buffered roll. Yeah, that's a classic, dude. Well, frame trap means, so in the case with the Consort cross attack before it got changed, if you rolled the first swing of the attack, you got hit by the second swing no matter what. Unless you were in this really awkward position, basically, which is how we had to fight him for no hit before they changed him. And the other alternative with the frame trap is that you don't roll the first attack, when then in that case, obviously you get hit by the first attack, right? So there's no way to dodge it, is what that means. Is you get frame trap. You roll it, and you get frame trapped out of your roll iframes by the next attack. Yeah, the circle left simulator, yeah. I mean, Consort still is a roll left simulator, basically, but it's much better now, at least. Waterfowl without a guide's impossible to learn. Yeah, Waterfowl is not a good attack, in my opinion. Some people could easily argue that it is. It's fine because there is, you know, there are multiple ways to deal with it, and you can dodge it, which is absolutely true. It's not like I don't know how to dodge it or something, but in my opinion, and this is kind of more arbitrary, but in my opinion, that attack crosses the line of how hard an attack should be to deal with. But yeah, someone could easily just say that they don't think it crosses the line, which is perfectly defensible, right? It's just my opinion that that's a little bit too much. Is that different from the cross slash? Well, it's similar, and yeah, I guess. I guess the main difference with waterfowl and the cross attack is that, I mean, there are more ways to deal with waterfowl, but also the way. So before Consort got nerfed, the way to actually deal with that attack was way less fun than the way to deal with waterfowl, which is, I guess, another part of it, right? That is another thing that matters. But in both instances, though, I think it's... Uh-oh. Holy shit, dude. Both instances, I think it's not good. The cross attack is kind of more blatantly not good, but they both cross the line, in my opinion, and make the boss fight less fun. Or, well, yeah, Millennia, like I said, Millennia's a little different because the way to actually deal with it is much more fun than the way it was for Consort. But I just think they make the game for players who haven't played the game 1,000 times, right? So if you're going into Millennia the first time and you're trying to deal with waterfowl, you're just not... It's not going to be fun because there's no way you're going to figure out the correct dodge. And you're going to, you know... Probably the first instinct is to try to block it, but then you're discouraged from blocking it because she heals from hitting you, right? So in my mind, that tells me that I shouldn't be blocking it. And then the other alternatives, which I actually did on my first playthrough, is Bloodhound Step, but they nerfed it. But pre-nerf Bloodhound Step was excellent for dodging it. And you also could go with Vow of the Indomitable, I guess, right? Maybe there's some other ways too, I guess. With the DLC, you could do deflect here now, but she also heals from that. So just in my mind, if I would receive kind of like negative feedback on something like that, it's sort of, I would see that as the game telling me to not do it that way. In the same way that when you're fighting a boss like Madir, when you're attacking the legs, you just do way less damage than the head. It's basically the game directing you. And that is, in my opinion, that's good boss design, where the game is kind of directing you to the right answer a little bit. I do like that. So what was I saying? So yeah, I just think waterfowl is a bit too far, I guess. All right, so I'm actually going to redo this because I messed up. We are supposed to... am I not supposed to drink during this? And I missed him somehow. So I didn't walk far up enough. Ooh, that was kind of close. Twitter people have a god complex for simply beating the game. Well, I don't know about... That's pretty general, but there are a group of people who And I feel like a pretty big, decent-sized group of people that really hate when they nerf bosses. Because, you know, other people have an easier experience than they did on the boss, and they just really like hard bosses, just for the sake of being hard, basically. I'm not really one of those people at all. I'm kind of looking for more well-designed stuff rather than just simply difficulty. But if I only cared about difficulty, then I would love the cross slash because it just makes the fight harder, you know? It's just not in a good way, in my opinion, which is why I don't like it, but... But yeah, it's the same group of people who brag when they beat, you know, Star Squish Redan before they nerfed him. Which, like, the nerf basically did nothing, but... Called edge alerts. Nah, it's a little different, but people who have no intention of playing Elden Ring DLC get, again getting mad about consort nerf. Yeah, sorta. Probably not even worth buying this slab. So we only get one spell buff from this. It's not very big. And then I think from going to 60 to 70 intelligence, we get an extra 2 spell buff. Which is obviously not a great amount, but...
Farewell, Ashen One.
Let's go to Miklos, dude. Sorcery, it's going really well. This route is certainly coming together here, I would say.
Ashen.
Alright, I guess I'll get 33 now. I like 33 because then I can do the Sage's buff plus like 5 Soul Spears or something like that.
Farewell, Ashen.
I still have FP remaining. You beat pre-nerf Consort, but you leave out the part that you 6-shot him with the Blood Fiend's arm. Dang, dude. Chad. This mod that ports Revenant with abilities and all to Elden Ring. I saw Green Wolf do he was doing that with Duchess against Millennia or something. It looked pretty cool. Yeah, that could be fun to try, actually. It could be pretty fun. Somebody asked if I ever died doing this setup. I don't believe I have, but I don't know. Accidentally backstep instead of roll, and then I die from it or something. Could easily happen. Oh, I forgot the bone shard, dude. Whoops. It's fine. I guess we'll do it after this. Okay. Good old Cinder. Ooh, that's kind of scary. I was probably quite close to getting hit by that. All right, well, there's a sorcery any percent, which I haven't done in probably 5 years, approximately.
Farewell, Ashen One.
I don't remember when I did that. It was a while ago, sure. This looks fine. I guess I can swap it on the next bonfire. Michael, thanks for the 100 bits, dude. 101 bits. Thanks, dude. Wiser, thanks for the 500 bits as well, dude. Pizza Bagel, thanks for the brand new sub as well. Sorry, I missed that, dude. The Cinder Cheese, I actually don't know what that is. I don't think. What is the Cinder Cheese? How new is this? Do you get him stuck on a stump or something like that? Like, oh, really? It is interesting. Yeah, I've never seen that. Difficulty slider in Souls games leveling bigger. No, I don't really agree with that. I think the difficulty slider is using the internet. I think that's the real difficulty slider, because if you wanted to, you could think about Comet Azure Moog, right? If you're having a really tough time with him, it's like, oh, I'm just going to search it up, and then you find this build on how to kill him easily. And I feel like that's kind of the easy mode. Although it doesn't really work. I guess it doesn't work as well the second time you enter, but you guys got the point. You guys get what I'm saying. All right, so time for this strat. Make a save in case I die. So we do 2 shots. If he transitions immediately, then I drink and then headshot. Belvine, 2 shots, headshot, kill. If he allows me to do 3 shots, then I do the headshot, drink, and then the sequence. All about when I drink the blue flask, basically. Now, I could just do the cheese here, but this strat is much cooler if I can execute it.
Where have come now?
Beautiful. It was a little awkward because he transitions so early, but still worked out. Yeah. Firebomb used, run invalidated, dude. Unlucky. Okay, so we go this, and that is correct. Okay, so we buff. Soul mass. Drink.
Ashen 1.
Another pretty nice strat. I probably don't need to do these bosses this early. Or Oceiros and Champion, I probably save until later, but I guess if I am going to do that sort of risky-ish strat with the headshots, then I'm probably good time to do them, I guess.
Nishino hi.
Okay, more endurance.
Farewell.
Jupoko, thanks for the 20-month Prime sub. Thanks, dude. Which all should be correct, I think. Why didn't I use Hidden Body for the DS3L achievements? It's just... Using Hidden Body at the time was kind of like frowned upon, I guess. So I just never used it. I never used it until recently. Fairly recently, at least. Because people didn't really use it back then. Even people doing magic sorcery runs, they just didn't use it. Well, it was kind of, I guess it was frowned upon because the original no-hit runners specifically didn't allow themselves to use it. Like Hob and Frost, like they just didn't allow themselves to use it. And like explicitly didn't allow. And basically everyone who started up no-hit runs after that, you know, you started up because you watched them do it, and so you're going to kind of do the same thing. And the same rule, and so it sort of just... people just didn't use it because they didn't. Really, this is actually safe. So yeah, that was the simple reason, I guess, right? That was simply it. And I think originally they didn't want to use it because they felt like it made it too easy. Which is fair. You can impose that own restriction, but just because they didn't want to use it, just nobody else wanted to. Right? You didn't want to be the first one to use it either. It's not really anybody's fault. It's just, I don't know. Just what happened. And then eventually just people start going like, oh, why don't we just use all this stuff? Like, It's in the game. Why shouldn't we use it? Now we're here. No, shields will never be allowed. Well, I mean, you could use shields to parry, but blocking is pretty not, like, that's the definition of a hit. Blocking counts as a hit. That's just how it is. So now we can use something like 100% drop rate. Well, I mean, I don't know how many people do that. I was maybe the original person to start doing that, just because I didn't want to waste my time. But no, 100% drop rate's actually not allowed for team hit lists, as far as I'm aware. That's kind of a me thing. And it kind of started with storyteller staff because, you know, my first, like most of my first runs, I didn't actually 100% drop rate it, but as I got more and more runs under my belt, I'm just like, I've farmed this so many times that I'm just not even going to bother this time. Yeah, most of my old runs, like the level 1 no upgrades, all boss and no hit, I'm pretty sure I farmed it. Not exactly the attack I was hoping for. Pretty bad RNG to start. A little early. Nice. I wonder if I should take... I wonder if I should take off slumbering for this part, because there's one particular guy who I was wondering why he was behaving differently. Like some guy that runs out and tries to push you from the corner. I can also just hidden body, I guess. That's probably what I'll do this time. But yeah, slumbering makes him track. He doesn't track you if you have slumbering Dragon Crest on, and so I remember just being able to walk past him, but then, you know, all of a sudden I just couldn't. It's because I had slumbering, and so he wasn't aggroing to me. But yeah, I think what I did on the Sunlight Stray Sword run was I hit him body, and then I just went into the corner and then baited his attack or something. Did I say no-hitting this game is more about memorizing bosses? I mean, I guess partially. Yeah, you gotta be good at the bosses. It's true. But you also have to be good at the running sections, and you gotta... Like, it's not only about memorization, right? It's... You have to execute every time. So, you know, a run like Elden Ring is... It's a lot about just having the right strategies for bosses. If you look at my all bosses run, especially the non-region locked one, probably 80% of the bosses in that run just get... You know, there's some scripted strat for them. So in that case, it's just you memorize the strat, right? But in this game, that's not really as much of a thing. You kind of just have to be good at the bosses. So yeah, memorizing them, but then also executing every time. It's not just memorization, obviously. Because yeah, I mean, you could know a whole enemy's moveset, but then be absolutely trash at avoiding it still, right? It's there's a possibility. This is a pretty good run so far. I wasn't thinking I was going to get this far. Just because I was expecting more things to be not ready to go yet, I guess. You know, I just thought maybe one of the strats would be bad or something like that. But so far, so good. And I wasn't actually intending to get the run on this attempt either. We haven't gotten it yet, obviously, but... I more just wanted to do a, you know, baseline run or something. How nice is it to be, you know, closing in on the end of the run at even a slow route at 2 hours and 20 minutes, dude. Quite like that. You know, the sorcery route compared to the melee route is, you know, turtle speed, basically. The Twin Blade route I'm using for the multi-game run is about an hour, it was like an hour 45 or an hour 50 or so. Somewhere between there. For this old grandma to walk out of the way. Yeah, I will check out that mod to play Elden Ring as a Revenant and the other Night Ring classes. Does it let you climb walls and stuff too, or no? Is it just the abilities? That sounds like it would be pretty fun to have my summons like that. Yeah, if I get hit, I'm going to finish out the run, especially now, right? Like, even if I was attempting to get the run and I got hit at this point, I'd probably just continue because there really isn't that much left. Mostly just the big bosses. Which, to be fair, are definitely not pushovers, but basically all the running sections have been done except for Archdragon Peak and the first DLC. Why is my soul mass not firing? Oh my god, I didn't even know I could skip this with sorcery. It's beautiful. The clutch free aim. I wonder if a ritual sword actually makes that, or Lloyd's sword makes that better. It may be one less hit before the transition, or before he does that big spam attack. Because I think last time I did a Red Tear Stone with that. I guess also I probably missed the free aim as well. Okay, so you know what? I was testing this earlier. Pestilent Mist on Midir is actually like the better thing to do in combination with Soul Spear, of course. So because of that, I'm not going to set up Red Tear Stone Ring, just for the extra safety in case I walk into the mist or something.
Farewell, Ashen One.
But yeah. One cast of Mist, if it does well, it does over 1,000 damage. It can do like 1,300 or something like that. So, yeah, we're going to mix in some Pestilent Mist in here. Extra life strategies. Waze, thanks for the 23-month Prime sub. Thanks, dude. Yeah, that's true. I don't get the scripted stagger, but I'm not planning on taking the riposte anyways. The stagger is still nice to get some damage off, I guess, but... Yeah, Mist is actually quite nice here. I could have easily done another attack there. Not the cleanest fight. Not bad. Where do I think I'm most likely to get hit? Probably on... Like, Frida's probably the hardest boss on sorcery, I feel like. But probably there. Or Gael, potentially. Gael phase 2 is also very dangerous. Gael phase 2 is dangerous on any run, honestly. The crossbow is quite a threat. Honestly, Gravetender's not bad with the strat I'm using. Gravetender's pretty good. Yeah, yeah, Frida's tricky sorcery, I think. When you can't backstab, especially because that's what I'm so used to. It becomes a bit trickier. So yeah, probably Frida. And I should probably do her earlier in the run than I am, but I don't think it really matters. No, I'm not going to plunge Wyvern. I'm just going to blast him. Yeah, it's not that sorcery's bad on Frida at all. Actually, it's really good in phase 2. But I'm just more used to backstabs on her, I guess. I'm also going to use poison on Frida phase 3, which will be nice. Wait, Pyromancy show her flame? What are you talking about? Yeah, Pyro actually has a very interesting Frida fight because Boulder Heave is good at knocking her down, but then you also have Sacred Flame, which works on her. And it's pretty cool. It's the only unfortunate thing is the damage of Sacred Flame isn't that crazy. And I can't remember if you can do a follow-up attack after she wakes up from the Sacred Flame either, so it's not the best, but it's pretty cool, though. You might be able to. I just can't remember. Yeah, Sacred Flame is the grab, yeah. That's true. Sacred Flame is pretty slow to get. But, I mean, we're probably going to be going into Demon Ruins anyways for whatever that tome's called. Great Chaos Tome or something. I forget what it's called, but... He's moving, dude. He's moving. Let's go on, Lucy. And Zaz, welcome back, dude. Yeah, I don't know for Miracle if I'm not using consumables, which I'm planning on not doing. I didn't do it on this one either. I don't know what the strat will be for Half-Light. Because I think in the past I would have just done Dung Pies, and I may have routed Miracle all bosses a long time ago. I don't really remember. But if I want to avoid consumables, I have no idea what the strat would be here, dude. Because there's no cheese that you can do with Miracles that I know. No, you know, non-poise damage dealing damage over time strat like this. So I have no idea what the strat will be. Sushi, thanks for the 18-month Prime sub, dude. Yeah, dung pies are a miracle, yeah. Surely. Yeah, Pyro can just use Poison or Toxic Mist. It would be cool to get Toxic Mist, but getting it is an absolute pain. So I don't know if I actually would. I would like if I were to get Toxic Mist, I would have to level up bigger, 100%. Unless there's some new way to get it that I'm not aware of, but I'm pretty sure there's not. Oh, do you have a strat for it? That you don't need to level Vigor for? Because when I did all achievements, like obviously I had to get it. I had to level up to like 13 or 14 Vigor or something like that. You know, maybe just for the sake of swapping, I should do something like this. Oh, base Vigor. Okay, interesting. But consistent kinda is not. It's not making me hopeful, but yeah, I mean, I guess I don't mind leveling up a bit of Vigor, but the thing is, ideally, I would get it early in the... Oh, I have 420k. It's fine. Ideally, I would get it early in the run so I could use it for Deacons. So that part might be more of a problem. Because getting it late should be easier if I do actually get it. Could always respec, but respecking is kind of slow. I guess I'll use one of these. Why not? I wanted to poison him.
Bing bong.
I mean, poison's like the STS isn't actually like that good in phase 1. Mostly about phase 2, which I'm probably not even going to use it there. I think 3 is safe here. Did not mean to cancel my cast. Beautiful. Honestly, that is so much easier than doing this cheese, I find. The cheese is... It's once you get it set up, it's super easy, but it's just... Setting it up is the problem. So I just decided it would be easier just to not do it, just fight him. Especially, like, the damage with sorcery isn't bad at all here, so... I'm pretty sure last time for Grave... Because our damage does matter. I'm pretty sure I got to 66 last time as well. But maybe I should just go like this.
Farewell, Ashen One.
Okay. Just for now, I'll go like this. Swap it once we get down. Oh yeah, we have to do the entire running section. I forgot about that. Pingu, thanks for the 17-month resub, dude. Yeah, most of my routes, I do this running section earlier. But for this run, since getting early upgrades isn't really that important, it kind of just is no point. But that means we have to do this whole running section now, though. I think I probably will just end up using my leg sorcery for Wilhelm, probably. I could do the branch strat. I haven't done it enough to... And apparently there is a chance that he can swing at you too. Is Demon King second to last boss? It's because there's not really any other point in doing him earlier than that. So... Same with Greatwood. We don't have any reason to kill him early. And killing him early would make the fight significantly harder than it would be to do him late. And so we just do him late. That's it. So I normally do this section early so that I can do Scream Skip and have... even if I miss Scream Skip, it's not really a big deal. But when I'm 3 hours in, I'd rather not lose a run to trying to do that. It's very safe, but... You never know. Heard silence, so you thought I must be taking a break. Followed by bird screams. That is why it's called Scream Skip, because you skip the screams. But, like I said, when I do it this late in a run, I'm not going to bother, basically. Not enough reward. It only saves about 15 seconds or so. And I guess maybe saves your eardrums.
I've seen your kind.
And for the good old leg sorcery. What? And fist sorcery, I guess, too. Well, this is interesting. Does shield really make this that much better? Like, I've kind of always used shield for this, but... Here we go. Interesting. I guess that's why I usually use a shield for that. I didn't remember that it was like that, but... It's just got a better hitbox or something. But yeah, Magic Ian doesn't use the shield though. It's only for the stamina regen. Yeah, probably once he kind of falls in that spot, I could probably just soul spear him. Or another alternative is you can bait him outside and then body block him and then just start spamming soul spear as well. It'd probably work too. Doesn't really matter, though. Mages do also have legs and fists. That's true. Do you see my favorite game from FromSoft? No, Elden Ring's my favorite game from them. The only thing it's probably my least favorite to do no hit runs on though. Well, okay, Bloodborne I don't like doing runs on Bloodborne because of the FPS, but aside from that. No, I didn't. No, I don't think... The only reason I could think to do early Ariandel for sorcery is to get more souls. That's it. Because you get a couple from Wilhelm and pick up some other souls on the way, but... The upgrades, I just roll with +3 until after I'm done Dragon Slayer, basically. Although I do early Dancer into early Dragon Slayer, and then after that, once I get Court Sorcerer, I just go straight to +9. That's how I do it. And all of the large shards I pick up through Irithyll. I get one in Smoldering Lake. But the other large shards are in Irithyll Dungeon as well. So yeah, this red's pretty nice because I'm not really upgrading... I don't know. I don't have to upgrade just all the time. Only upgrade twice in the whole run. Or I guess 3 times with the +10. Yeah, +3 Deacons because I use STS. That's how I do it. That's why it's possible. STS plus Poison Mist, or Pestilent Mist. Yeah, and then for Sage, I do +3 with Pestilent, with Poison Spores as well. Works out pretty nicely. In my opinion, what's the worst spell type in the game? Like, type as in the 3 categories? I don't know. It depends what you're trying to do. For no hit, it's probably sorcery. But most of them have their weaknesses and their strengths. Sorcery's strength is that, Crystal Soul Spear does a shit ton of damage, which is really good. But the weakness is that numerous bosses are resistant to magic. Whereas you have Miracles where you basically have a strong damage type against every boss, but then you don't have nearly as powerful range. Then you also have the best damage type in the game. So, okay. So we need Great Soul Dregs, and we also need I don't really know what order I should do this in, but we need this, and we need this, and then we need to swap or carrying greatsword. Or not carrying greatsword, the soul greatsword. I'm gonna cast this. Would be nice to have an additional attunement slot for this, but it doesn't really matter. Too many spell slots gets kind of confusing at a certain point. Guess I don't really need this yet. Okay. Good old grave tender, dude. I should have gone in the bathroom before this. Probably just wasn't close enough to hit him there, I guess. Okay. Really being an asshole here. Holy shit, dude. 3 in a row is kind of insane. Wait, am I supposed to have magic clutch on for this? Oh shit, dude. I guess I can always bone out if it goes wrong, but I don't actually know if I use it here. No, that's right, I think. 438 looks right. Alright, so now we buff. This one should take us close to phase 2, but just not phase 2. Perfect. Alright, so there's the damage set up. Now... he's supposed to jump out when I do that. Clean, dude. That strat is really nice for this. I spent a good few hours trying to figure out what to do here. And that's what I came up with. It is still, yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little... It's not the easiest thing to get him into that spot. What else do I need here? And that's it, right? Yeah, sometimes he's annoying and he, you know, takes a few times to get him stuck in the spot, but... Yeah, it's a nice kill. Cool to use a Soul Greatsword, too. It's a pretty underrated spell. Why do I feel like I'm forgetting something here? I don't think so, though. Green Wolf, how's it going, dude? Yeah, I tested so many things for that kill. I really just couldn't figure out what to do there. But yeah, that's a pretty consistent way to kill him. I mean, I've never had it fail in probably 20 attempts, which isn't, that's not that many attempts, but it's not bad. And then even if he gets close to me, if he blocks, for instance, and it takes an extra soul drakes to kill him, if he gets close, he just gets blasted by the soul mass or whatever. So, all right, probably the hardest boss on the run, I would say. I'm just trying to remember what to do. So in phase 3, I'm gonna get STS poison off at the start, which should speed things up quite a lot. What else is there? Guess nothing. A little too far for lock on. Ooh, I did not like that. Ah, didn't get her. And I feel like I should be able to get her here, though.
Maybe I'll give you the best nut ever.
Wow, that was really good RNG right there. I think I just missed the poison because I was a little bit too close on that third cast or something. Nice, dude. Yeah, so I was saying Frida's probably the hardest boss sorcery only, but she's not particularly harder to do with sorcery. It's just she's one of the hardest bosses to no hit in the base, like just in general. So just so happens that sorcery, she's also basically the hardest, I would say. Yeah, she's just got some really nasty things that she can do. Some very fast attacks in some bad situations, especially with the Black Flame Serpent, too. If she, combines them. Especially in... I feel like she's especially dangerous in Phase 1 and 2. Maybe Phase 2 with Sorcery isn't too bad, even though I almost got cornered. But Phase 1, when you can't backstab, it's harder to control where the fight goes. So that's what makes her a bit trickier, I guess. Bobby, thanks for the 17-month resub. Twofold, thanks for the 20-month resub as well, dude. What makes Frida better than other NPC fights? Well, she's not really an NPC fight. She can't Estus, she can't do normal rolls. She's not an NPC fight. I guess she's the same size though. But she has an actual moveset. And is an insanely good boss. Nah, I don't need a bathroom break anymore, dude. It's gone. No, I should be able to finish this run before I have to go to the bathroom, surely. I think the fact that I was focused there kind of made me forget about it. Yeah, I used the gamer bucket, dude. There's a possibility for tail swipe here. This strat takes me back to like 2018, dude. This is what I used to do here. Even with melee weapons, like when I did no upgrades and level 1 no upgrades, no hit, I did the same strat but with frostbite. Actually works pretty well. Yeah, the reason that was kind of interesting is because at the time people were doing the full run through and the actual wyvern plunge, not the skip. And then one day I was like, oh, why don't I just try fighting him? It was actually much better. No, the plunge isn't scary. I mean, there is a possibility to fall off if you mess up or something, but no, the plunge isn't scary. Just at that point in time, I wasn't sure if that was even allowed. Like, I was thinking, no, I probably shouldn't do it. And so I just didn't. But on this run, I'm not taking criticals, I guess, right? So. Yeah, doing it that way, if you're not going to do the skip, doing it that way is significantly easier than running all the way around. And it's actually not that slow. Yeah, you know what? That did happen quite often, actually, where you would miss the plunge. I've definitely seen some Hob clips of him missing it. I've also, I definitely remember missing it as well when I was first doing my, I don't think I ever lost a run to it, but I remember going for baseline runs where I missed the plunge. Like, oh, there's my 7th hit I took. Yeah, doing it the old way was just unbelievably bad. Or the intended way, I guess. Is significantly worse. And then, yeah, the real difficulty of it, though, is having to fight the chain snake who's up there. Who's basically a mini boss, almost. And the hitboxes on that guy are pretty insane. Magic phase 1? Hobbs' version. Wait. Hobbs' Soul's version of Murphy's Law? You're not necessarily wrong. It's a funny way to put it. I don't really think I need Sage's staff here. Should be all good. Switch to Dark for phase 2. Why not use one of these? Please hit the head. Holy shit, dude. That was a little scary. Dude, that was really fucking close in phase 1. Ooh. And it's funny because I haven't seen some of those moves in a while. So I was kind of just going off of like pure muscle memory for that dodge. Yeah, it's because he did the follow-up and I just totally dodged the wrong spot. Like, you want to be in front of him, obviously. But I kind of went underneath him because he did that kind of rare follow-up. All right, ODK. Yeah, no, Hob is definitely legend. Like, it's, you know, it's fun to, you know, poke fun at him a little bit. It's fun to poke fun at a lot of people. But yeah, he's definitely a legend, dude. There's no question. The original no-hit runner, dude. In the Souls games, at least. I'll just wait for this. No point in rushing now. 3 hours into the run, 2
In
left.
Elden Ring, do you prefer to have your flask bound to your quick slot or you D-pad down menu? I recently started binding them to the quick slot and it is so good.
Wiser, thanks for the 500 bits, dude. Do I prefer flask bound to quick slot? Or do I D-pad down menu? No, definitely the quick slot. I've been telling people to do that for ages, dude, because the quick slot is objectively the best way for your flasks, unless you have nothing else on your normal quick whatever this is called, like the quick items. The pouch, I think it's called the pouch, right? Is absolutely the best way to do it. No question. Or ODK. All right, one boss left. Yeah, get ready for the Great Wood hit, dude. Yeah. You never know, man. Yeah, Hob invented hitless runs, yeah, in the Souls games. I'm sure people did hitless runs in other games as well, but... Yeah, it wasn't actually... I didn't start doing hitless runs from watching Hob because he streamed at times that I just couldn't watch, I think. I got introduced into no-hit runs from Faraz and Squilla, but obviously they took inspiration from him as well, so... Which maybe it's not obviously, but this is what happened. Well, yeah, I don't think in Souls games people maybe did some, you know, no-hit boss fights or no-damage boss fights before that. I don't know. I only started playing Souls in 2017. This is the best part of the run, the free aim show. Great soul dregs. But yeah, I'm sure people did, you know, SL1. Like Lobos has been doing runs in the Souls games for ages, dude. But Hob was the first no-hit. Yeah, I can always bone out if something goes wrong here. Which it did. I'm just not messing with this, dude. Not as the final boss. I'm simply not going to mess with that. It's okay. We get to do the free aims again. I need to, for this strat, I need to stand in a spot where I don't get pushed by the arm, but I just haven't done this enough to know exactly where that is. Yeah, Hob God run level playing. To be fair, though, this is a little bit... Like, I am free-aiming everybody. Or free-aiming all the sacks and stuff. It's a little bit trickier. Oh, you know what? I should have tried to go for the 2-for-1 right there. Okay. Once again. Simple. All right, there it is, dude. First try. I wasn't thinking I was going to get this one first try. I just wanted to do a baseline run, but the thing is, we spent enough time routing where the strats were all really good. And that paid off, clearly, right? The Oceiros strat was really good. Sage strat, Deacon strat, all... Grave Tender especially. That was probably the thing I spent the most time on. But yeah, just over 3 hours in game time. That's basically what I thought it would be. There it is. Sorcery all boss and no hit. So next, I'm not sure which one I'll do next. I'll probably put a poll out or something. But the plan is to finish up Pyro and Miracles. All 3 magic runs, all bosses, which somehow, even after 5,000, almost 6,000 hours of no hit runs in this game, I just haven't done. So, but yeah, there we go. That was fun, dude. That was a really cool route, actually. Sorcery is really fun, especially because of the fact that you kind of have ups and downs with sorcery, right? I was describing that earlier. Aldrich is bad with magic damage versus Yorm, who's insane with magic damage, you know? So you have the good contrast. It makes it more interesting than just something being good on literally everything. But yeah, there it is, dude. Simple. That was pretty clean, too, for the most part. Other than that Greatwood Homeward Bone, I guess. Like, the Oceiros was pretty good. Even Prince was a little slow. Yeah, GG, dude. Simple. Anyways, yeah, thanks for hanging out today, guys. I was gonna start up another run today if I didn't get this, and I was just gonna continue it tomorrow, but I guess I don't have to do that. Simply get it first try, dude. But yeah, anyways, thanks for hanging out. Maybe next stream I'll do a poll, or maybe I should do a poll right now, actually, while everyone's here. Do I remember how to do a poll? I'll do a straw poll so that YouTube can also be in it. Whether we're doing Pyro or Miracles next. Let's see. Let me just make this really quick. Pyro, Miracles. I'll allow multiple selection, I guess. Okay. I haven't used straw poll in so long, dude. Here we go. So vote in there, and I guess there's not a... I don't know. Maybe it'll skew in a certain direction or something, but... So I think I broke my chat somehow. But I posted the link, right? Oh, yeah, I did. Okay. Yeah, I guess you could vote both, I suppose. Holy shit, it's really close, man. Okay, let me pull this out. That's insane how close this is. It is as close. This is insane, dude. Okay, Miracle's pulling ahead slightly by 1 vote. Is everyone just voting both or something? Maybe I shouldn't have done that. Okay, Pyro's pulling ahead. Okay, here we go. Pyro's pulling ahead. I'll let this go until 5:14, which is in... do I not have seconds on here? Anyways, when I see the clock turn 5:14 is when I will stop it. But it looks like Pyro. Yeah, stop the count. Yeah, that's cool. This is honestly the way I prefer to do it with Pyro next. Because I want to end off on Miracles, because that's probably going to be... Or Miracles are kind of my favorite. As everyone knows, I like faith builds. Although Pyro is sort of a faith build a little bit too, but... Okay, Pyro it is. It's not 5:14, but I don't think it's going to overtake. All right, so I guess, yeah, next stream I will... Yeah, it's 5:14 now, so... Very close vote, though. 53.2%. It's pretty fucking close, but yeah, anyways, tomorrow we'll start routing Pyromancy all boss and no hit, dude. That should be a really fun one. Should be pretty damn fun. Also, yeah, maybe I should check out that Elden Ring mod that lets you play as the Night Rain characters. I think that would be pretty cool, too. Sounds like fun. Unless it would just get boring, but I don't think so. I think that'd actually be really fun, dude. But yeah, I kind of want to focus on the Dark Souls 3 runs right now. So, anyways, let's raid. Who should we raid, dude? Lots of people still playing Night Rain, actually. Let's raid. You know what? Speaking of Hob, let's go raid Hob, dude. He's doing his subathon. He's doing enemy and item randomizer. No death in DS2, which is something I still want to do at some point. But yeah, go set a hobby, guys. Yeah, surely Wu Chang tomorrow. but probably not. I like I said, I kind of want to focus on the PS3 runs for now as we're getting some momentum, I guess. But yeah, go set a hobby, guys. I'll be back on tomorrow, and I'll see you guys then.